Hi everyone, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. It's Wednesday, September 10th, and we just want to talk some college football. We have a few good matchups this week that I just want to get into. I'll probably be with you almost every day this week talking college football, but just want to quickly gloss over a couple of the games that I talked about in my blog over the last couple days. And the first one, Notre Dame, Michigan. Whether you're a fan of these teams or whether you're not a fan of these teams, if you don't sit down and at least take in some of this game, you're missing the boat on college football and really your college football season. It'd be tough to call it complete because just the bands, the colors, the tradition. This one's at Notre Dame. It really doesn't matter if it was at the Big House. It's the same story. Whether these are your favorite teams, your least favorite teams, anything like of that nature, it's Notre Dame, Michigan, and it's college football, and it's always early in the season. It's not like one of these games that's always late in the season and really is a decider of anything and a be-all and end-all, but it is a be-all and end-all to have this game as part of college football. I watch it for the fight songs alone, personally. I like Michigan in the game. They're giving 1 point. There's a strong tendency that the underdog pretty much covers all the time in this one. 7 of the last 9. I think we could throw that out the window. This spread's dropping. I'm not even sure if there's going to be an underdog by the time it kicks off. I've seen it pick them at least one place. Another game I want to go over real quickly is Georgia playing South Carolina. I've been less than impressed with South Carolina this year. I know that they won their first game 34-0, but they were playing NC State, who I feel is really one of the weaker teams in the country. I haven't officially added them to my teams that stink list, and those of you that saw my 10 top 10s this week, I officially listed those teams that stink, my teams that don't stink anymore. You might want to take a look at that. But I didn't list North Carolina State there. I'm not sure why I didn't list them. Maybe because there's just a lot of stinkers. We're seeing a lot of, in a day of parity, in a day where, we have East Carolina who can beat anybody. There's just a lot of teams, a lot of bottom dwellers, and a lot of real strong teams at the top. And it's going to be really tough to separate those at the end of the season unless there's some major shakeups. But, in this matchup, I just think that Georgia, I might have underestimated them a little bit. I know that they were number 1 ranked in the polls coming into the season, and I kind of downplayed that because I said that the Bulldogs really haven't gotten it done in the regular season. They didn't merit that ranking. Well, what I saw last week against Central Michigan was a focused team, a team that was motivated, and a team that just looked so centered. And Matthew Stafford, people can rag on his stats that they're just, I've heard him called the Ryan Leaf of this year. Well, Ryan Leaf was a fine college quarterback, and all he really needs to do, Stafford, is to manage that and to not lose games for his team. And he can do far more than that. He has loaded the wide receivers, A.J. Green, Massaquoi. He's got Noshawn Marino in the backfield. The defense is stingy. I mean, they played Central Mich last week. Lefebvre is a Heisman candidate. He's equally the quarterback considered, on the same level as a Chase Daniel. I'm not too worried about Stafford, and I'm not worried about the Georgia Bulldogs. I know that this is a game that generally is tight. The Bulldogs are on the road, but this is a series that is dominated by the road team. The Bulldogs are laying 7 points on the road. I don't think South Carolina is going to score. I really don't see them scoring against the Bulldogs. I don't see them going across the 50. So I'm pretty confident in going with the Georgia Bulldogs in that game. We got a lot more to talk about this week. I don't want to run too long, but thanks for joining me. So today we just talked about Michigan Wolverines, Notre Dame. It's just a can't-miss game no matter what the records are in the prognosis for those teams. We talked about Georgia, South Carolina, good old SEC battle. That one's at Columbia this year. And, we'll be back all week talking about just a great matchup of games. Thanks for joining me. This is Mitch.